Has Meizu created the smoothest, most comfortable phone of 2018? During the August 8th launch event in Beijing, China, Meizu mentioned that the 16th is the smoothest phone on the market, with a user experience that will win over just about anyone. And oh yeah, have I mentioned the in-screen fingerprint reader? Yeah, it's good. No, wait. Actually, it's great. Well, I'm Adam, tech editor with Gizmo China, and I've had the pleasure of using the Meizu 16th for the past week. So in this video, I'll be sharing my updated thoughts on the construction quality, specs, display, user experience, and camera for an in-depth review of the Meizu 16th. Again, 16th, not 16. Thank you very much. Meizu has included the basics and then some in the understated square black Meizu 16th box. You've got the phone, a seriously fast charger, USB-C cable, a hard plastic case that basically covers the back and the corners of the device, a Fly Me styled SIM card ejector, and some paperwork. Overall, fairly simple and straightforward, and no dongle needed, as the 16th includes a 3.5mm audio jack. This phone is a beaut. Simply put, it looks clean, with smooth rounded edges and super tiny bezels all the way around. While not flashy, the polished aluminum with 3D glass front and back, including a special 7-layer coating giving for a unique finish, stand out as premium design to me. The Meizu 15 we previously reviewed had small side bezels, and these are even smaller at only 1.43mm wide. It's almost like no bezel at all. And in use, it feels smaller than any I've previously used. The front of this white version really stands out in the crowd of black fronts on phones these days. With only a small camera showing on the top left and the speaker grill at the tippy top up front, there's not a lot to get in your way of that screen. Additionally, I really like the symmetrical look of the design top to bottom. On the back is the dual camera module in the upper center with a 6 LED dual tone flash below it. Towards the bottom of the back is a somewhat larger than I'd prefer Meizu branding in a chrome-like finish. I really like the overall design of the curved back, and it feels amazing to hold. It immediately felt right at home and comfortable without feeling too slippery or grippy. The relatively compact size with the 6-inch screen is only possible due to those minimal bezels. The Meizu 16th is 150mm tall and 73.2mm wide, with a minute 7.3mm deep, making it the smallest phone with a 6-inch screen on the market. And it's the lightest too, at only 152 grams. But don't let that make you think it's less well made, as its construction feels and looks premium. I'm not sure I've held many phones with as much screen to body ratio as this one, at a 91.18% screen to body ratio that just screams awesome. The 6-inch Super AMOLED screen has a 1080 by 2160 pixel resolution with a pixel density of about 402 ppi, meaning you really shouldn't be seeing any pixels in general use, which is certainly something I can appreciate. In my launch video, I was able to get my hands on a few test units and felt the screens were a bit dim. Thankfully, my review unit screen is much brighter than those I tested previously and is usable on all but the brightest of days, with somewhere around 430 nit brightness. The Meizu 16 is part of the cool Android crew, utilizing the most popular button layout these days, with the power and volume rocker on the right side and a dual SIM card tray on the left. Unfortunately, there's no expandable memory there. The top of the device has an active noise cancellation microphone and 2 antenna lines, while the bottom has 2 more antenna lines, a 3.5mm audio jack, the main microphone, a USB-C port, and the main speaker. I say main speaker because the headset speaker also acts as a stereo speaker when in speaker mode. I'll share some examples for you right now. I think Meizu's implementation of the secondary speaker works well, but it certainly can't work on its own, whereas the main speaker at the bottom would work quite well on its own. I feel the system is quite clear and has a fairly full sound, especially for a phone at this price point, where some companies might try to cut corners, but not on this device. If you're enjoying this review of the Meizu 16th, make sure to press the like button. We'd love to hear your thoughts and if you prefer this phone compared with other mid-cost flagship devices as well. Please leave your comments below and subscribe to the Gizmo China channel for more smartphone and tech goodness. When Meizu decided to upgrade its Flyme UI, they chose to base it on Android 8.1 Oreo, and with the inclusion of the OneMind AI to preload apps 36% faster. Gladly, on my review unit there seems to be little bloatware, and the system storage is at 110 gigabytes available of the 128 gigabytes included on this model. Meizu stacked this phone with the most modern of hardware components, starting with the Snapdragon 845 processor. This has an octa-core Cryo CPU and the fantastic Adreno 630 GPU, which should provide a heck of a punch. And yeah, 6 and 8 gigabytes RAM options. My review unit is an 8 gigabytes RAM with 128 gigabyte storage option, and with these specs can push the Antutu score to a top tier with a 281,711. All that power stays cool during gaming sessions with a custom copper liquid cooling system that I found to work quite well. I played a lot of games with the Meizu 16th, and even with games like PUBG at max resolution, the phone didn't heat up or slow down, even after hours of use. I played a few other seriously demanding games and the device didn't skip a beat, showing off the flagship power behind the beauty of the exterior. Watching videos is lag-free at any resolution I threw at the 16th. Navigating the device is smooth as menus fly on by. The promise of the smoothest phone operation is certainly with merit, as most animations were smooth and worked as desired. Included in the OS upgrade is Super Swipe, which is said to improve fluidity by about 67%, and a new Super MBAC 2.0 button for smoother navigation, and a new gesture system that seems to be quite good. For me, the gesture system is my favorite to use, with its unique 3-sided gesture option. Just make a quick and short swipe on either the left, right, or bottom of the device to take a step back, a longer swipe to go to your home screen, and hold the longer swipe to take you to multitasking. It makes this as smooth a gesture set there is. It seems that actually using this as a phone matters, as the devices have some of the best connectivity specs out there, with 2x2 MIMO Wi-Fi and 4x4 MIMO LTE connections, and Bluetooth 5.0 for fantastic hands-free action. In my experiences this week, the active noise cancellation is fantastic, and call quality is crystal clear on both ends. And then there was an in-screen fingerprint sensor. Seems this tech is just getting warmed up, but on this device, it's blazing fast to use. Getting it set up is as standard as other fingerprint readers, only you'll be doing it on the front screen. Just press your finger and lift it a few times and it's set. You can use the fingerprint reader for a variety of uses that any other phone with fingerprint readers can do, and it does it all in a split 0.25 seconds. It does seem to be somewhat picky at times, however, as it took me a few tries if my finger wasn't positioned correctly. Setting up the facial recognition is quite similar. Simply place your phone in front of your face and it'll take a quick scan. Once set up, I found the facial unlocking was pretty dang good, with double tap to wake and lift to wake options being super fast and user friendly. I most often use the lift to wake option, where I just pick up the phone and then the facial recognition takes over and nearly instantly unlocks the phone. The Meizu 16th has plenty of battery for a day of heavy use with its 3010 milliamp battery. I found that after a full day of web browsing, video watching, and social media access, I had about 30% or more battery left and usually had more than 40% available. For those who do run out of battery, Meizu included the M Charge, which is their updated rapid charging tech that can bring the 16th battery from 0 to 67% in just 30 minutes. So I tested this and got pretty close at 56% after 30 minutes, which is still fantastic and offers more freedom to users. Now, one of my favorite parts of any smartphone, the camera. Meizu certainly tried really hard to fulfill most casual shooters' needs with a 12 megapixel f1.8 Sony IMX380 sensor, which is one of the larger mobile sensors out there, paired with a 20 megapixel f2.6 Sony IMX350. There are 4 main settings options in the camera: portrait, photo, video, and more, which when pressed offers pro, panorama, scan, time-lapse, slow-mo, and square modes. In each of the modes, the settings are somewhat limited and certainly not offering deep customizations, even in Pro mode. Photo mode includes the most standard options like HDR, filters, and beauty, and has only a photo aspect ratio option that I found useful. Video mode is quite simple in that it really only has video size options from 480p, 720p, 1080p, and 4K, but that's about it, with no frames per second option. It just seems to be limited to 30 frames per second at all resolutions. Time-lapse is always one of my favorite modes, and this is a highlight for me on this device, with smooth video output and changeable timing options. Slow-mo is okay, but I'm thinking it's only 120 frames per second, which really isn't all that slow. The included AI has 16 scenes, each with different settings depending on the situation. Most should find this pretty useful, and I felt it does a better job than most AI that I've used in the past. The front selfie camera is a 20 megapixel f2.0 with Arc Soft AI Intelligent Beauty mode, which should help with your vacation selfies or your office selfies. Well, wherever you selfie, this should be pretty decent to use. As to how I feel after using the camera for a few days, I like the still photo capabilities a lot. I found the colors to be quite accurate, the dynamic range to be pretty dang good, and the sharpness to be just about right, which is great. This phone does photos right. In dark scenes, the noise is kept at a minimum, and there's plenty of detail. I wish there were more customizations available, like contrast settings and a raw capture option. Videos from the main sensor are fairly good and sharp at 1080p and 4K, and also have excellent color and dynamic range. In bright scenes, the shutter speed ramps up and you get visible jitters if you move too quickly, but keeping steady and moving slowly helps out. Meizu claims a 4-axis optical image stabilization setup, but unfortunately, as you can see here, I just don't see any stabilization out of any resolution or option. We're going to go ahead and include any updated information as we receive it in the description below. Additionally, the 4K videos use a version of the newer, more efficient H.265 codec, which may cause some compatibility issues as seen here. I had to convert to standard H.264 to make the HEVC files usable on my Mac.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Now that I've shared the information and examples, I'll slow clap all day long for what Meizu has accomplished with the Meizu 16th. It's certainly smooth, fast as an F1 car, and comfortable in the hand. There's no doubt that the Meizu 16th is one of the most user-friendly smartphones so far in 2018, and will be a fantastic addition to anyone looking for ease and comfort without delay. I see its main competitor coming out of China is the Xiaomi Mi 8, so if you'd like us to make a comparison video of these two devices, let us know in the comments section. As for pricing, the models of the 16th version include a 6GB RAM, 64GB storage model that costs 2,698 Chinese yuan, a 6GB RAM model plus 128GB storage for 2,998 Chinese yuan, and an 8GB RAM, 128GB storage version, like my review unit, for 3,298 Chinese yuan. That's some serious power for your buck. Well done, Meizu. Well done.